Good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are. I'm Paul Clark and welcome to my studio. Now, what have I got for you lovely lot today? Well, the sun is shining away here in the UK and it's a perfect time to get out into your garden. Not that I know anything about gardening at all. So today we're going to be painting this lovely little cottage with a country garden. So this painting was taken from one of Margot's challenges on our Facebook group. So please check out some beautiful paintings from the group at the end of this video. So come and join me and we'll paint this step by step together. Okay, so for today's materials, my paper is some Saunders Waterford. It's 100% cotton rough texture. Any decent watercolour paper will do. Now my brushes are a large flat, and from my range a 3/4 inch flat, a number 12 and number 6 round. So a quick pencil sketch. This one is quite easy, very little perspective to worry about, so there's no drawing template today. Okay, so when I'm painting anything with flowers, I like to get them down first to guarantee they go down on nice clean white paper, allowing them to be bright as possible. And I'm lightening the values and dropping in blobs of clean water to add interest. And I'm using my number 12 brush, but if you're happier, please change to a smaller size. Off we go! And I'm wetting the whole sky area, including the roof, with clean water. Then straight in with my 3/4 inch flat, some cadmium yellow and a touch of cadmium orange. And here a touch of cobalt blue mixed with a little alizarin crimson. So all my greens are mixes of my usual cadmium yellow and cobalt blue, and I want to give the impression that these trees are way in the distance and out of focus, so I'm going in wet and wet to get these lovely soft edges. And here just introducing a little warmth with some burnt sienna. Now for this tree I'm starting with a very yellowy mix for the green, still into the wet. Now it's probably a good idea to pre-mix a lot of these colours first, as you have to work quite fast. Now I'm coming in here with a much darker bluey green, but leaving the lighter green on the edge to suggest the light is hitting from the left side. And here, still in the damp stage, splatting in a little texture with the dark green. So now we need to let this totally dry, so it's a perfect time for a short break. And what about a glass of country garden cider? So for the roof here, I'm starting with a fairly warm mix of burnt sienna and cobalt blue on the left, using my number 12 brush. And as I paint towards the right, I'm adding in more of the cobalt blue into the mix to cool the colour, as I want the roof to have a much warmer feel towards the sun. Next for the path, nice and simple with some Payne's grey. And continuing on with a slightly stronger consistency for all these rocks, dropping in here a little burnt sienna too. Next, I'm taking a plastic store card to scrape and drag into the paint to create this lovely rock effect. Now I have a whole video on techniques for painting rocks, link above if you're interested. And here, while it's still wet, dropping in some Payne's grey to increase the contrast in the shadows. Now for the cottage, and a nice light watery wash of the Payne's grey, with perhaps a subtle little mix of some burnt sienna dropped in for good measure. Let that dry and then in with some Payne's grey details. Now for this lawn over here, I'm using my normal green mix of cadmium yellow and cobalt blue, but adding in a touch of sap green to just give it a little extra boost. And for these bushes, just using various combinations of yellow and blue greens. Here a really dark bluey green for this hedge. Next for these window frames, a very pale blue wash of cobalt blue. Okay, so now for the fun and the flower beds in front. So I'm starting by carefully painting with clean water roughly all the areas around the flowers. Now this will allow me more time to get lots of wet in wet blends. So first, with a very wet yellowy green mix into the middle area here, and then dropping in darker bluey green values, including some sap green straight into the wet wash, particularly underneath the clusters of flowers. Next, I'm using the sharpened wooden end of my brush to scrape and score in these stem details. And here I'm even dropping in some pink colour directly into this wet wash. some of these green areas are beginning to dry, but that's okay, you'll still get some interesting effects. Okay, so now for some details on the house, and I'm using my smaller number 6 brush and some Payne's grey. And as I always say, less is more. Don't try and paint in every roof tile or every brick. Keep your strokes fluid and loose.
I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August.
Now this garden area has dried. I'm coming in with a darker green for some foliage details.
That I love you. You in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August.
And of course a little splattering using my number 12 brush.
That I love you. Ooh, ooh, you. Ooh, ooh,
Now I'm using my pink colour here to bring out a few shadow details on the flowers. So next is a stage I really enjoy, and it's taking out those hard edges which just look a little bit unnatural. So make sure it's totally dry. Then with a damp tissue I'm rubbing and blending some of these edges. Now that transition into the lawn just looks a little less obvious now. So let's add here some shadows for some extra interest. A darker green on the grass and a darker grey on the path. Next it's mixed media time, and I'm using a yellow-green pastel pencil to get these light coloured stems in front of the darker green. Then I'm using this fairly inexpensive set of soft chalk-based pastels to get some bright opaque colour on these flowers. Now what do we reckon? Azaleas possibly? What I love about using these is you can smudge them into the paper with your finger, giving that blurry watercolour effect. A little bit of white here for a nice crusty edge. Let's go for hydrangeas, shall we? Now a question I'm often asked is if I'm using these soft pastels, do I seal the painting with any sort of fixative? Well, I don't, to be honest. They either go straight into a frame if I like it, or into my drawer between lining paper. There we go, all done, and this one in just over 3 hours. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did and you'll give it a go. Just remember, make it your own, relax and have fun. So, as promised, coming up now are some lovely paintings from the Facebook group. They're just randomly selected. Sorry we couldn't show them all, there were just too many, but please enjoy them. And of course, please don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already, it is free. Leave a comment, I do read every single one, even though I can't always reply to them all. And of course, I look forward to seeing you all again next week for another Watercolour Wednesday. Take care now everyone, get out in your garden, cheers.